Well, hello. The astute might notice that my hoop shed is gone. We had a windstorm and had to take it down. I was gonna keep it up only for about another month until I got a few more things done on the top sides here, but well, I guess we just wait for nice days. So got one, and I am going to well, I should back up here. We got the whole top sides, or the whole deck and cabin, are watertight except for the main hatchway and the windows. So today we're going to be working on getting the sliding hatch back installed. Got the sliders to put on. I took some screenshots from some of my previous videos to remind me of exactly how they're mounted. And then once we get that guy on, I have a sliding hatch cover that goes up over in the back, right in this area here. So let's get started on that. I think I can line up some of the holes still. I can see where they were. This is solid fiberglass, so I don't have to really worry about you know, going into plywood and you know, getting a water egress into the space between the two fiberglass layers. The rest of it will be going into an area that does have a core, but I got some I'll put down some Sikaflex, and they're just tiny little, let's see here, cabin top slider cover. They're just small little, I'll goop them up in Sikaflex and put a bead of Sikaflex along the whole thing, and hopefully that'll work. There really wasn't much of an issue in those areas from the previous installation, so let's get started. Alright, this is how it supposedly lines up, and I got lucky. I got a couple of spots where the original holes are still there. I got a mix and match of some shorter, some longer and shorter, so we'll spread these out. And I got a drill bit to, oops, up here, to get the hole started. Let's give this a shot. Alright, so I've put a couple in. I start with one, one on each side. Got the hatch on, so I slid it so that it is where it feels like it's sliding nicely. Got it all the way up to where I put in another one. So this seems to be a good fit. And it's pretty much where it was. The holes are lining up. So now I'm gonna secure the far end, double check it again, and then just install all the rest of the screws I have. Okay, well, she's on, she slides. I only have about 4 screws in because I'm not happy with how this is. If you can see the way this works in there, this piece that overlaps, I'll show you in a second here, it doesn't overlap enough, because I can still, if I pull to one side, I can just lift the whole thing off. So that's not very secure. So what it is these pieces here that overlap the slide, and they could be a good maybe 3 millimeters wider. So I gotta find some pieces of metal to install right here, and then I'll have to reinstall the hatch on here, but I'm gonna leave it the way it is for now, just so I got it weather tight. Which I guess that means I'm not going to be putting on the hatch cover. That guy goes on here just to help keep any additional weather out of it. There are boats that don't even have those on there, but it's a nice option, but I don't need it at this point. Alright, and the other thing I wanted to get figured out today, obviously I have to refinish these parts, but the boards, these are just sitting here. These, I don't know if I'm going to try to refinish. I got to do a little bit of filling, probably some thickened epoxy or fairing compound in here. or build a new piece entirely, but I think I may just salvage those. Same thing on this side. I don't know why. It looks like somebody already filled in some here. I'll chip that out and try to redo it. But I'll sand it down and see what kind of condition it's in. I think it's salvageable. The boards, I don't know if I'll make new boards. Probably should. These are plywood already, so maybe I'll get some plywood and build new boards. But in the meantime, they'll work. Now this piece is kind of beat up on the ends here. I do have a piece that goes on the end here I can reattach, but this end was already gone. I don't think it really matters. This is the piece that goes right here. I don't think I'm going to worry about it. I'll just reuse this because this is one piece that somebody at the factory, oof, it's in there good, routed this out of one piece of, I'm assuming, teak. So I'm going to clean it up. I don't think it's multiple pieces glued together. It could be, but I think I'm just going to clean it up since it fits so nicely and it the holes all line up and it will do the job, and I can clean it up a little bit and not worry too much about it. So that's the other thing. I wanted to put the boards in and check the sliding hatch. So this is how close it fits. Doesn't seem like it's a very good fit, but that's the way it is. The sliding hatch, that's as far as it's possible to come because there's a stop at the other end. And then a little bit of a hole there. So I guess that's just the way it was when I got the boat. Let's see if I can hold that there with my foot. And this guy would go right here. So just about like that. So there's always been a little bit of a gap here, I guess. So this is before. And then 60 grit sanding. Or 80 grit, I'm not sure what I got. But I think it's just fine. That's what it looked like before. I do have to fill in these gaps here, so I'll mix up, clean it up, and mix up some epoxy and fill that in. I think these will be just fine to remain in use. All right, so we got sanded down nicely. So what I've done, covered all of the areas of the piece that will be exposed to the weather directly, or exposed to sunlight, I should say, because I'm going to do whatever varnish or whatever a good treatment for teak out in the weather. But the other side is not exposed to sunlight, so I'm going to, obviously I have to fill in these areas, but I'm also going to give a good coating of, and even on the bottom, coating of unthickened epoxy to just give it a little extra protection. So got that taped off. We'll get going with that. All right, clean this guy up as well. Not worried about perfection, but it certainly looks a lot better than it did. This is the back side, you're not going to see. I think what I'm going to do for this guy, which is, this is the exterior part. Boards come down and sit like that. I'm going to do all this back unthickened epoxy, just like the back of these. And then this is the piece that broke off. And I'm just going to use some thickened epoxy and stick that back on. All right, 2/3 of the way through cleaning and renovating these. I sanded them down, and I've done the step 1, which is a cleaner, step 2, which is a brightener, and then I'm ready to do step 3, which is the teak oil, but they have to be completely dry when you do that, so these are still damp from the other process. So, just waiting, and we'll see what it looks like. I think they look perfectly acceptable. I'm not a perfectionist, but they look good. And I just want the oil to protect them, to keep them from deteriorating in the sunlight. These ones are exposed to the sun. These are trim pieces just inside the hatchway. They aren't exposed to the direct sunlight, but since I'm doing this. All right, so this is what it looks like dry. And here's the first coat, still wet, of teak oil See, I think I got golden, premium golden, that's the color. So yeah, very nice. And the final product, soaking it up. I think it looks pretty good. It says you can put on another coat if it's needed, so I'll let this sit for a little while. I think I'm going to probably install them. If I got to put more coats on, I'll just do it right in place. But turned out well. I was not sure if I could reuse these pieces. I don't know if I showed you the back. This was where there was a kind of a gap. I filled that in with thickened epoxy. Same with this one here. Screwed it out, or put in a new hole, countersunk it. Bought some new stainless steel. I had bronze bolts that were shot and mismatched for these four on these two pieces. I didn't order replacement bronze. I was at West Marine. I just picked up some stainless steel, so they don't look bad, but maybe someday. All right, so to build wider, this is the piece for the sliding hatch, the overlap. I bought some aluminum, same size. I couldn't find bronze. So what I've been doing, I clamp this in place, drill the two holes, and then just mark just a little wider. I bought a metal cutting bit for my jigsaw. So drill two holes, cut it out, and I'm getting a piece like that. It's a little bit bigger, or a lot bigger actually. This one I think I may have cut a little too big. But I did do one dry fit. It's up on the boat. It seems to be good. Right. I talked about getting a new pieces up underneath here, and I realized that I could push these slides out farther. There was enough of a support that this piece can go out farther, and so I got more of an overhang here, and now it hooks on there well. I didn't need to change it, and it's not, you can't lift it off. That's catching it there. So now I just gotta put in the rest of the screws. She should be good. All right, she's in place. Put these pieces in, got the board on. I'm gonna have to get I don't have a countersink drill bit, so I gotta pull these out, countersink this a little better to get these a little deeper so I can put a plug in. Alright, so this is how she looks all installed, and I finally got the this is the hatch cover. I just put down that, I think it was Sikaflex I put down, and looking good. I'm gonna put a few more coats of this, coats of the teak oil on this. I like how it turned out. Definitely need more coats of it. And then I got to turn my attention to doing these combings and the cap rail. But, we're running out of summer. I don't know if you can see those trees there. They're turning red. We got a good week ahead, so I took the tarp cover off, and hopefully I can get some more work done. If you noticed, I got some more kiwi grip on. That'll be another video. So anyway, thanks for watching. Don't mind subscribing. A little blue circle up there, I'll get you a link to that. It'd be helpful. Help my channel out. Appreciate it. Bye.